So now that the turkey is done and I've completed baking the peanut butter cookies and the chocolate cookies, I'm now going to be preparing the stuffing. So this stuffing recipe is actually a southern stuffing recipe, and it's supposed to be a muffin, but instead of making it a muffin, I doubled the recipe and I'm going to put it in a baking tray. So here are the ingredients. So it calls for 1 cup, I'm sorry, 1 can of coconut milk. We also have 2 cups of almond flour, and then 3 cups of corn flour, and then we've got 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and then it's going to be followed by 1 can of corn. After 1 can of corn, we've got 2 cups of vegetable broth, and we also have diced celery here. There's about 3 or 4 stalks of diced celery, and we've got 1 apple here, also diced apple. Red apple is what I'm using. And then we're also gonna need some baking powder, so at least 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And then we also need oats. So this oatmeal has 2 cups of oats right here that I'm using because I doubled the recipe. And then after that, that's followed by 1 tablespoon of white vinegar right here. That's 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. And then over here, I also prepared Himalayan pink salt. And that's about 1 tablespoon of Himalayan pink salt. And then I added black ground pepper, thyme, and rosemary. And it also calls for onions, but since I don't have onions right now, I think I could also use chopped onions. So these are the ingredients that we have for now, and I am going to be combining them later on, but first I would have to cook first the combination of the wet ingredients, which is our vegetable broth. I'm going to combine that with the seasonings here and the spices along with the celery, and I think I gotta do that with the coconut milk as well, and then I'm gonna combine them together with later on with the dry ingredients, which are the almond flour and our corn flour. All right, so now we're ready to cook our first ingredients, our wet ingredients, which is we're gonna have our vegetable broth right there. So that's 2 cups of vegetable broth. And then we're also gonna go ahead and add in our celery. So the celery, and then our tablespoon of white vinegar. Let that simmer for a little bit. And then we're gonna go ahead and add in our Himalayan salt, like half a tablespoon of Himalayan pink salt. And then along with that, I'm also gonna go ahead and add in the rest of the spices. So in here, I have a combination of thyme, rosemary, and some black ground pepper. So we'll go ahead and put that in right now. Kind of let it simmer and let it cook for a little bit. And then we'll come back to this in a little bit and pour it in our dry ingredients. So now that we're done with our wet ingredients, we're gonna go ahead and combine all our dry ingredients. So I'm gonna start off with 2 cups of almond flour. And then we're also gonna combine with that our 3 cups of corn flour. 3 cups of corn flour. And then we'll go ahead and add in our 1 cup, actually 1 can of coconut milk. You can buy this anywhere, the Asian market or any store would have it. And then once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and add our 1 cup of corn, 1 cup of corn, and we also have our apple. Mix them all together. The apple. And before we add the rest of the ingredients that's left, let's go ahead and mix this up. So you've got the corn, you've got the apple, the corn flour is in here, almond flour, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in our oats. Smoothing our batter before we add in the wet ingredients that we just simmered earlier. And because I forgot to add our onions, I don't have the real onions, but I do have the chopped onions. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some onions in here. At least 1 tablespoon. The onions are supposed to be added when we started the simmering of the wet ingredients, but I forgot to do that, so I'll go ahead and include that in this mixture as well. And once that's mixed up fine, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And I already set up the oven to heat up at 375. So that's what you're hearing right now is the oven ready because it's already at 375. So I have the baking powder there. It's also asking for baking soda, like half a teaspoon, but I think we're good with the baking powder to make it rise a little bit. Because I don't have baking soda right now. I only have baking powder with me. So we're just gonna continue to mix it up, and then now we're gonna go ahead and add the wet ingredient. So here's our wet ingredient, the one that we made. We simmered earlier with the celery, vegetable broth, thyme, rosemary is all mixed in here. So let's add that in our mixture. And let's hope this is not gonna be too soupy, right? Because I feel like I add in too much vegetable broth. So right now it's a little too soupy. So hopefully once it's baked, it will look better than this, right? And I'm also gonna add in some croutons because I don't have the dried bread. So I'm gonna add the croutons instead of that. And hopefully that will help so that it doesn't come out too soupy as a stuffing. So continue mixing it until it's well mixed. All combinations are done. And then once this is done, we're gonna pour it in in a baking container and let it sit and bake it. And like I said earlier, this is supposed to be a stuffing muffin, but since I don't have a lot of the muffin pan, I decided that I'm just gonna put it in a flat baking sheet like this one, and then we've done all our mixings right here. I'm just gonna spray it so it doesn't stick, and I'm just gonna pour all our ingredients that we mixed up, everything in here. It actually smells really good. It smells good. And just pour it in this pan, a container for baking. Once everything's there, just gonna spread it a little bit in the container, the baking container. Doesn't it look good? It looks good. It smells good too. And then since our oven is already at 375, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in our oven. So the oven is now at 375, and we got this in our baking sheet or baking container. So it's now ready to go inside the oven. And we're gonna let it sit and bake that for about 35 to 40 minutes. And it's at 375. So let's go ahead and set the timer. I'm gonna set the timer for 40 minutes. Alright, and we'll see what happens to it after 40 minutes. This is our stuffing. Supposed to be stuffing muffin, but I put it in a tray like this. And there's only at least 10 minutes left. It already raised up. And 20 minutes into the baking time, I added the pecans on top. And I've already tried it. It looks, and it's really delicious. It doesn't just look good and delicious. I tried it and it's really good. And here's our fully baked stuffing for our turkey. Let's see, let's try it. Let's see how it goes. I tried a little bit of it earlier and it did taste good. But let's take a look and see. So this is like a cake now or stuffing. It looks like it's moist inside and soft, which is I think what a tough stuffing should be. It's very hot, but you'll see that there's the corn, you can see it, the pecans. Tastes really good. So yummy. You can taste the corn. You can taste the corn flour. Almost like a corn muffin. Everything. Like a cornbread. The pecans. You can taste the celery. All the mixture of everything. Perfect. Hello. I'm almost done cooking. Just doing some macaroni salad now. It's a Filipino tradition during the holidays. Macaroni salad with ham. So I'm boiling the macaroni right now. And then I also made some purple yam. You can see it. Ube, purple yam, and some sweet potato. And I'm gonna add ham and green and red apples to that. And I'm gonna add some mayonnaise to it and some cheddar cheese as well. So almost there. And there it is, the yummy macaroni salad, Filipino style. So it's got the pasta macaroni shells with ham, cheddar cheese, mayonnaise, of course, green and red apples. Yummy. Thanksgiving holiday also begins the Christmas season in the United States.
All right, let's jazz things up a bit by turning 34th Street over to the Centerville Jazz Band from Centerville,
So the
Ohio,
Macy's
led by
Parade in New
their
York
director,
also
Brandon
includes
This highly
parade
acclaimed
doing
group,
Christmas
highly acclaimed group
songs
of high school
such as
musicians
this
brings us
one,
their jazzy interpretation, 12 Days of Christmas.
the 12 Days of Christmas at the Macy's Parade. So this is started early in the morning. When I turn on the TV at 8 a.m., they've already started. And it's now already 4 p.m. here in California, and it's still going on. So it's a whole day event for Thanksgiving. So every year, Macy's do this Thanksgiving Day parade. It's a tradition in the United States, and it really brings out, a lot of happiness because it's a jolly event. And it starts the beginning of the Christmas season and the holiday shopping as well, because it's Black Friday actually at 12 midnight on Thursday today or tonight. So a lot of people are going to go shopping. Given the circumstances that we have with COVID-19, I'm not sure if there's going to be less people. I didn't do it last year at the height of COVID, but we're now opening slowly but surely. So there's probably going to be some people going back to their holiday Black Friday. So let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the 12 midnight tonight. I'm kind of tired after cooking the turkey and baking. Kind of tiring. But we'll see if there's gonna be a lot of people going to the Black Friday tonight. And there is Santa on the 95th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Parade.
Guys, this is so cool. It's magical, this heartwarming Christmas moment. It marks the official start of this year's holiday season and also the conclusion of the Macy's 95th Thanksgiving Day Parade. We want to thank the thousands of volunteers.
It's been 95 years.
Tirelessly throughout the year to mount once again this, we call it the Miracle on 34th Street.
And we'd also like to pay tribute to America's first responders, essential workers, military.
It's called the Miracle on 34th Street in New York. The Macy's Parade.
Santa is really
95th annual Macy's Parade for Thanksgiving.
Macy's and NBC, we want to thank you for watching. We wish you and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving Day, a happy holiday season. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.
Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Stay safe and healthy. So a part of Thanksgiving tradition here in the United States is right after the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade in New York. The next show that follows on the television is the football game. So they say that the dads stay at home and watch the football game while the moms go out and shop for Black Friday with the kids. So that's another Thanksgiving tradition that we have here in the United States. And again, because Thanksgiving is the beginning of holiday season, Christmas season, this is also the perfect time for people to go shopping here in the United States during, right after the Thanksgiving dinner at 12 midnight. Everyone goes out, or I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people go out and do their Black Friday shopping. Black Friday, it's called Black Friday because that's where there's a lot of sales, discounted sale going on. Black Friday because this is the time when companies have to turn their financial statements, their P&L, the profit and loss statements, into black instead of red. So instead of being in the red, they'll make the profit during Black Friday. And so that's why they called it Black Friday. And just like that, 2021 Thanksgiving is over. Turkey's done. Macy's Parade is done. The desserts are done. And it's over. But what really is Thanksgiving? So the most important thing is that Thanksgiving, that's why it's got two words put into one, right? Thanks and giving. So the main essence of it is that we're thankful for all the things that has been given to us, for all the blessings that we have received, particularly this COVID season, right? Last year and this year, we gotta be thankful. A lot of people have vanished because of COVID, but we're still here. So it's a great season to give thanks. And at the same time, it's also the beginning of the season for giving, which is our holiday season and Christmas season as well. So whatever it is that you're going through, whether you're alone celebrating Thanksgiving, or you're with a family, or you're gonna be alone celebrating Christmas and New Year as well, don't feel alone. Do something, and don't depend on other people to make you happy, because we are here to live. We are here to survive. We gotta make use of our time. So whatever it is that we do, include prayers always, and always be thankful and appreciate all the blessings that we have been receiving. Happy Thanksgiving again, everyone. Take care and stay healthy.